Does your website feel slow even though you're paying for decent hosting? You're not crazy, and it's probably not your theme. In this video, I'm going to share with you what caching is in WordPress and how it makes your website faster. But more than that, I'm going to explain why it matters, how it affects your business, and how to know if it's working correctly. As an added bonus, I put a simple checklist in the pinned comment below. This is going to help you check if caching is set up the right way on your site. By the way, if we haven't met, I'm Rob McDonald, and I help small business owners like you with their WordPress websites. Now let's talk about why all this matters. Speed is not just a nice to have. Speed affects how long people stay on your site, whether Google ranks you, whether someone fills out your form, or whether someone books a call, whether someone buys from you or not. When a site feels slow, people don't wonder why, they just leave. And in response, here's what most small business owners do. They upgrade hosting, they install more plugins, they switch themes. But the real issue is often caching. So let's slow this down. What exactly is caching? Caching means saving a ready-made copy so you don't have to rebuild something every single time. That's it, plain and simple. Think of it like this. Imagine you run a bakery, and every time someone orders a cookie, you mix the dough, you roll the dough, and you bake it from scratch. Customers would wait 20 minutes, but instead, you bake a batch ahead of time. Now when someone orders, you hand them a cookie instantly. That's caching. Your website works the same way. Without caching, WordPress rebuilds each page every time someone visits your site. With caching, WordPress builds it once and saves it. Then it sends the saved version. Now here's what's happening behind the scenes. When someone visits your site, WordPress has to do all these things. It has to load your theme files. It has to load your plugin files, and it has to connect to your database. And it has to pull text and images. Then it has to build the layout. It generates the page, and then it sends it to the browser. That happens for every single visitor, even if the page hasn't changed. Now imagine you get 50 visitors a day, or maybe even 500. That's a lot of rebuilding. That's why some sites feel heavy. Now here's what happens with caching. The first time someone visits, WordPress builds the page. Then it saves a copy on the server. The next visitor comes. Instead of rebuilding everything, your site sends the saved version. It skips the hard work. Caching lets your website take shortcuts. And these shortcuts are smart. Now let's go a little deeper. There are three main types of caching that you're going to hear a lot about. Don't stress about remembering all this. I just want you to understand the basics. First is browser caching. This stores files like images and scripts on the visitor's computer. So when they come back, those files load instantly. Second is page caching. This is the big one. It saves full pages so WordPress doesn't rebuild them every time someone comes to your site. If you're running a brochure site, a service site, or even a blog, page caching makes a huge difference. Thirdly is server caching. This happens at the hosting level on the host server. Good hosting companies build this in automatically. That's why some hosting feels faster than others. Now here's something important. Caching is powerful, but it's not magic. If your images are huge, or your hosting is poor, or you have 40 random plugins installed, caching won't fix everything. It helps speed, but it doesn't fix a bad setup. Now let's talk about common mistakes. Mistake number one. Installing multiple caching plugins. You only need one. More is not better. Mistake number 2. Forgetting to clear the cache after making changes. This is a biggie. How often have you made changes to your site, and these changes didn't seem to take effect right away? I know, it's frustrating. If you update a page and don't see the change, it's usually just the cache. Clear it and then hit refresh. Then you're done. Mistake number 3. Thinking caching is too technical. It really isn't. Most good hosting dashboards have a clear cache button. Most caching plugins have a simple on and off switch. You don't need to be a developer. Here's where business owners get confused. You log into your site, you see the new version, but when you check on your phone, it still shows the old version. That's not your imagination. That's different layers of caching. Your browser might have one version. Your server might have another version. Your CDN might have a different version. And that sounds scary, but it's normal. You just clear the cache in the right place, and everything syncs. Now let's zoom out for a second. Why does Google care about caching? Well, I'll tell you why. Google cares about speed, and speed is part of the user experience. If your site loads fast, people stay longer, they view more pages, they bounce less. Google sees that. Speed is not the only ranking factor, but it's part of the equation. And for small business owners, every small edge matters. Now I want to say something clearly. Caching is one of the easiest wins for WordPress performance. Let me repeat that. Caching is one of the easiest wins for WordPress performance. It's low effort but high impact. If your site feels slow, this is one of the first things I check. Before redesigning, before switching themes, before blaming WordPress. Start with caching. So let's recap. Without caching, your site rebuilds every page, every visit. With caching, your site saves a ready-made copy and sends it instantly. Less work, more speed, better user experience, better business results. If your site feels slow right now, there's a good chance caching is either missing or not set up correctly. I put a simple checklist in the pinned comment below that walks you through how to check it. And tell me in the comments, have you ever updated your site and not seen the change right away? I hope this video helped you understand what caching is. And in a future video, I'm going to show you how to set up caching on your site with a simple caching plugin. So subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when that video is up and running. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.